Season 6 of Arena Breakout arrives tomorrow, and I have a run through of all the changes and some things not a lot of people know about. Stick around and I'll take you through everything you need to know to be ready for the Season 6 launch. First up, we have the main lobby, and the layout has changed. Most of the changes speak for themselves, but you will see that the Battle Pass access has now been moved here. Events now have their own large icon, and access to the trophy room has been moved to an unnamed button here. But you can access this from the Battle Stats screen. Speaking of the battle stats screen, these have been completely overhauled. The stats are now far easier to see, and you can choose some of your season medals to display, including ones from past seasons. Adding these is simple enough, as you can see here. The rest of the sections are accessed from the top of the screen, and there's no real changes to those. The customization screen has had a layout change. Functionally, it feels the same with just a different layout. The layout does feel like an improvement, but I feel it still needs some work, something the devs are obviously clearly aware of, as this changes nearly every season. We have one new setting this season, which will lower the background music volume to a different setting while the microphone is active. This will stop music feedback while you are speaking. Back in Season 5 as well, we started getting cash rewards for downloading the map assets. This seems to have been removed this season. No other settings changes have been noted. The return of rewards have changed, and how to obtain these is now done by simply extracting with any loot value. These are triggered by not logging into your account for 2 weeks. You'll get a number of advanced kits to use and a 2x2 secure case for a limited time. It's not worth doing it on purpose, but it is a nice thing for returning players. Since Evita's betrayal is now complete, she, along with her daddy issues, have now left the contacts and the mission system. The new contact, Lyle Marino, takes her place and will continue to offer the same items Evita did. I am expecting Evita to pop back up at some point. The removal seems odd, and there was quite a story there. Speaking of the story, one massive thing we're getting in Season 6 is the new campaign mode. This PvE mode is called Operation Blackout. We know very little about it, but it does seem to come in stages over the season, and the missions are linked to it, as you can see here. The reward for completing all of these missions is basically 5,000 faction cash of your choice. So with Evita gone, how do we get our free keychain? Well, fear not. The whole mission system has been overhauled. The missions have been streamlined and are basically an extension to the tutorial. They're rather easy to complete, but we'll cover a lot of the game mechanics. The missions give rewards individually, and completing all of the missions will give you the free 2x3 keychain, an AX50 and 100,000 Coin. New and old players alike can complete these missions as they're reset for everybody. Speaking of the keyring, one of the greatest changes in Season 6 is the new key system. You can now equip all of your keys for each map in the character screen. The game will automatically activate the correct keys as you enter each map, so there's no need to store and swap your keys anymore. There are limitations, of course. You cannot store duplicate keys on the keyrings, and in theory, if you have a universal key, it will only be available for the map you equip it on. You can equip new keys with the equip button, which will automatically buy new keys if you're missing them. An amazing update, and W to the devs for getting this in. Note at the start of the season, any keys you currently have equipped will be mailed back to you, so don't worry, you won't lose them. Also on the character page, the auto skin button has moved from the top to the side here, and above it we now have a new skin application screen. This allows you to apply skins you own to anything you currently have equipped. If you have a ton of skins, this is probably going to be a great little quality of life change for you. Quick kits have also changed a little in Season 6. You can now equip a quick kit from the character screen, which allows you to easily add things to your secure container. You cannot change the layout of the quick kit or add anything to it other than that. The applied kit will stay equipped until you remove it with the cancel button here. Any skins that you have will be applied to the quick kit automatically. The weekly limits to the amount of quick kits you can have also changed. There used to be 5 of each, but they are now 8 basic, 3 advanced and 1 premium. If you are over these amounts, a red dot will appear and remain on the character page until you are back within the limits. Onto the ranked rewards. Brace yourself. The outfit rewards have been removed this season. Yes, they're gone. In their place, we have different ranked bundle rewards, which are limited to 3 per season. A new spray, an ornament, and a badge. I have the feeling this is going to go down like a lead balloon. What do you think? Next up is the Battle Pass rewards. There are some new items added, such as an MPX mini bundle and a FAL mini bundle. These are like the M4 mini bundles. They offer a very nice build and a T4 armor set. The skins offered are a Vector 45 skin, which is in essence an inverted normal Vector skin, and the top reward is an M4 skin, which basically only works on the base M4. This was a very unpopular choice in China, as were the rank rewards, and I can't really see it being otherwise on global. There are still no faction currency rewards, so they seem to be gone forever for now, and I have also noticed that the cross-season rewards have been lowered by 300k. I don't know why. On the plus side, it does seem like there's a larger XP allowance per week, allowing you for a faster level up of the BP. The BP store also has a new M110 TAC bundle and an advanced kit you can buy each week. Note that accessing the exchange store is now done by using the button at the top here. The advanced battle pass comes with an SJ16 sniper rifle skin, which doesn't really look too bad. What do you think of the season battle pass? There are also some new weapon skins which can be purchased from the store. Most like the USAS skin are a little bit scary, but the M14 skin doesn't look too bad. The M4 skin here is probably ideal to go with the Battle Pass skin. The AX50 skin is also very nice, however the base weapon skin looks fine just as it is. Onto some new items. There are some new low-level armor and rig items this season. We have a new T2 helmet, which isn't really so useful, but we do have a new gorilla rig to use. Now this has two 2x2 slots in it, which will prove very, very useful for a USAS run. And we have a new Tier 3 armoured rig with a unique layout. The 926 T3 armoured rig has had its model updated, so it looks a little nicer, but sadly the new Gorilla armoured rig is probably going to prove better to use anyway. For the new weapon attachments, we have a new sight mount, which is designed for smaller sights, but will mount a laser on it as well. Quite strange for sure, but I'm sure someone will find a use for it. We have two new handguards for the M4, the extended and a tactical handguard. We also have a new upper receiver which adds to the recoil control, but this is looking to be rather expensive. The M110 now has a special handguard which will improve the control, so this seems like it could be a must-have. The AK-74 has a new tactical handguard, which looks pretty cool and boosts ergonomics while recoil control is boosted as well. The FAL has received two new stocks, which are both usable alternatives to the current stocks and a bit cheaper. The P90 has received a new receiver, which helps mount a new scope a little bit cheaper. Additionally, the AK-74, AKS, AN-94 and RPK have some new specific attachments. There's a new suppressor and muzzle brake which have been added. The muzzle brake gives a good boost to recoil control, which is going to be very helpful for all of these weapons. The suppressor looks to be quite expensive, but it looks very cool. The new season brings some new stims. The first two are likely to be contact stims, but we cannot be sure. There is also a possibility that all of these will come through an event. Firstly, we have the combat stim, which appears to act like a regen stim. It does apparently have side effects though. Secondly, the autoimmune system skin, which appears to be a painkiller. And finally, the breakpoint stim, which will randomly give one or more effects from stamina, regen, painkiller, or it may just kill you on the spot. Will you dare use that one? Another new item is the new item, which is worth nearly 2 million coin and is available in the mine map only. The Utopia Hazmat case is the same size as a Golden Lion, and I expect it to be as rare as Rocking Horse Poop. One thing for sure, the mine map is going to be interesting for a little while. We have some new events currently confirmed for Season 6. The first is a new daily loot box for completing a raid or completing a mission. These are upgraded by chance. You get 4 chances to upgrade it to the most. The best rewards I ever saw was about 12,000 coin. These are reset every day, but previous missed days will stack up. There's also an ore exchange. You can find the ore in either small or large sizes. These ores can then be analysed for a small coin fee. There is a chance of these ores becoming a very large amount of coin. There's a limit to how many you can do each day as well. Next up, we have the new Northridge Royale mode, a more true Battle Royale experience. It seems that this mode will be open on weekends, and it costs 20,000 coin to enter. You will be rewarded with coin for your loot extraction, which is rewarded at 40% of what you extract with. There is also a bonus for ranking in the top 3 of up to 50,000 coin. If you're good enough, it is possible to make 200,000 coin per run. Loot value is key though. The Royale mode allows for teams of 3 players and runs for 20 minutes or until the last player is killed. The zone will close in over the match just like a normal BR, but doesn't seem to get any deadlier as it closes. Airdrops will be vital to success. They contain top-of-the-line guns such as fully fitted AR-57s, RPKs, FALs or SVDs, all coming with level 4 ammo and extra magazines. T4 armor and larger bags are also available. If you can't do the airdrops, the ISO keys can be found in certain containers and lead to weapon caches that will ping on the map once you loot a key. These will have mid-range guns with level 3 ammo, so they are important too. Can be especially important if you're trying to assault an airdrop. I've seen M4s and G3s so far in these caches. This mode could be good for ranking up a little bit, as it also allows you to rank up to the Ace 1 rank. Could be a good bit of fun. Another Northridge treat, at the start of Season 6 we will see the Northridge Forbidden Zone being available. This is being added as a test to see how much players like it. So if you enjoy it, I suggest playing it as much as you possibly can. The devs will be watching the stats on this very carefully. Speaking about Forbiddens, I saw something really odd while I was playing Farm Forbidden. We actually ran into Ajax. It seems that Hecate might have been booted out again. Ajax now has a proper skin and skinned armor and rig, which will of course be removed when you exit the match, unless you own the skin. Since Season 6 is very story driven with the new campaign mode, I guess we'll find out what happened here. Maybe Hecate is finally going to upgrade that rubbish T3 armor. Onto the new guns now, and I have a small overview and some builds for you. First up is the G3 assault rifle. This gun is available from the market, so you can access it on day one. The G3 uses 7.62 by 51 ammo. It has very high recoil, which will hold common player back even when it's fully built. It also has a low rate of fire, but it does come with high firepower and good range. A beast to control, but it is strong as heck if you're able to get to grips with it. Building this out is all about recoil control really. The horizontal recoil will drop naturally, so we'll focus more on that very high vertical recoil. Next is the SG550 assault rifle, which uses 5.45 by 45 ammo. The SG550 is also available from the market on day one. This gun is basically a headshot king due to the zero recoil it has for about the first 3 rounds fired, but it's almost useless at anything else. It has low firepower, low mag size and a low rate of fire, which seems to make it a pretty bad gun. However, if you excel on locking onto the noggin, you're gonna find this weapon is amazing. Building this will concentrate on range and vertical recoil mainly, just so you can carry on spamming after the first 3 rounds. Although to be honest, if you use this gun just for headshots, using a base weapon with a little scope is gonna serve you just fine. Onto the contact weapons for Season 6, and we kick off with the CPW submachine gun. The CPW uses 5.7 by 28 ammo and has one of the most insane hip fires I have ever seen. This thing can hip fire at 40 meters with almost pinpoint accuracy. Good ammo for this is expensive, but I feel it is worth it. Compared with the ADS mode, I found the hip fire far easier to use, so I would put a laser on your build. Note one big downside with this is it has a low mag size of only 30 rounds. Since it's a contact weapon, most of the gun is free, so I would actually go with a suppressor here, even though it isn't really required. Lastly, for the weapons, we have the MP5K. This gun is a tiny beast with a fair hipfire and good ADS control. The MP5K uses 9x19 ammo and has the same mags as the MP5. Oddly, this gun comes with a 3-round burst mode, which, even more oddly, is actually pretty effective. It is notable that this gun is so short, it's very difficult to fold it. Not a ton of build options for this, but they are all contact-based attachments, meaning that this is pretty much a free gun to use, and you should go with the more expensive 50-round magazines. Along with the contact weapons, I can confirm that the contact ammo this season will be going back to the 7N39x19 rounds for most SMGs, and the 7N24 7.62x39 ammo for weapons such as the RPD and the SKS. Bye-bye AP and BT ammo. You will be greatly missed. Onto the balance changes now, and we start with the peak changes. Peaking is now slower, and you do not seem to peak as far as you did before. The FOV has been changed, which seems to mean more of your body is going to be exposed when you peak now. I have also noticed that your view is automatically lowered a little when you peak, which happens even when you are crouched. I've spoken to a range of players on this, and they all seem to say it doesn't matter that much. Certainly quick jiggle peaking will not be as powerful as before, but it is still viable. It should also be noted that character mobility in general has been slightly lowered. And if you're running and moving from side to side while you're running, you're going to do that rather slower now. Next up, the audio indicators have been changed. No, they haven't been removed, and their range has not been lowered, but at least there is a sign the devs are open to change. Now the indicators will be affected by how much noise you are making. For example, if you're making a ton of noise, the indicators are not as clear, and they will only stay on the screen for a very short amount of time. It does appear that the direction accuracy is also not as accurate due to this fuzziness. As would also be expected, if you're sitting in an active vehicle, you will be making so much noise that the external audio will only display for a very short time. Although the devs have said you will hear nothing from the outside of the audio, that hasn't actually proved true in testing, so be prepared for either eventuality here. Weapon balance changes are also in, and you can see these on your screen now. All of these improvements, buffs or nerfs, have been pretty low to be honest, and are hardly noticeable other than the Vector 45. However, the new armor changes on the other hand are interesting and should lower the time to kill in the average fight. The effect of these armor changes has been noticeable even on bots. I am seeing way more white puffs than I would normally expect. Next up, we have some map changes, and we'll start off with the port map. The locked entrances to either side of the port authority are now open, so those keys are no longer in the game. Port also has an extraction point overhaul with new points added. This is going to help avoid those fun sewer extracts. Speaking of the sewers, however, on lockdown, this will now not open until 20 minutes after the start of the raid. I think we're going to have a heck of a lot of bored rats in Season 6. The mine map has also had a bit of an overhaul. The general roads and foliage around El Milar have been changed. This is actually making travel a lot easier, less trees to crash into. There's also the new crash site area, pretty large area containing 3 sections of a crash plane. This contains 2 locked containers which can carry safe level loot. There's a lot of overwatch areas here, so be aware you're not going to get sniped from above. There's also a new village area near here with lots of lootable areas, and a new water refill station with a few buildings to loot. Another possible extraction loot has been added to the Western Mountains, and the prison area is a bit easier to access now with a lot of the fences removed. Finally, the already long freight station tunnel, wow, say that 3 times in a row, this is also now a lot longer. I guess there is one other important change. I can't think what it is. Oh yeah, lockdown mode has been added. Alright, I probably should have led with that one. There are also some vehicle improvements too. Overall, driving is far more pleasant now. The cars are a lot more responsive and there's less shake even when driving on smooth surfaces. Both of these make vehicles a lot easier to use. You'll find that if you're driving over train tracks, which was extremely painful to do, this doesn't cause as much shake anymore. Season 6 will also bring some new vehicle skins. We've heard very little information about this. They could be whole new vehicles, but I've got a feeling looking at the models, they're just new skins. Next up, we also have the Armory Changes. Big change here is that the middle door now works differently. Once you trigger it, it will automatically open at the end of the timer, and basically the whole door opens. It's huge, looks really cool. Lighting has changed here too, which means it's a lot easier to assault from the outside now. There are some cover areas that have been modified as well, but nothing too extreme. Other than door, I didn't see any other major changes on Armory. Finally, TV Station has had one small change. The central gate extraction point used to activate in lockdown 15 minutes after the raid start. This is now activated 10 minutes after the start of the raid. No other changes here. Well, that's all I have for you guys and girls. What are you most looking forward to in Season 6? For me, I pretty think it's the keyring changes. If you've gotten to this point, then you must have found the video useful, so please do smack that like button for me, and of course subscribe for the many more guides I've got queued up coming this season. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.